We're all familiar with the old adage in business that cash is king. And if you've ever had a cash flow crunch and gone through the pain of what that means for you, your family and your business, then you will definitely agree that making sure you've got cash and access to cash at every point in the economic cycle is a critical way to make sure that your business remains sustainable and your opportunities are realised. Now, in the startup phase, we get more cash by getting more customers. That's a habit that we tend to hang on with long after it serves us. Because by the time you're into the scale-up stage of the business, by the time you're growing and you've got a consistent, steady set of clients and a team, almost certainly a large amount of cash is sitting on your debtors list. And the way to get more cash into your business is not to have to go out there and ramp up sales and marketing and put on a whole heap more clients. It's actually just bringing in the cash for the work that's already been done. I talk to a lot of businesses who have this experience, who find that they go looking for cash and they're not quite sure how to get through a short-term crunch. And while there are specific conversations that you need to have, what you're really looking to build in your business is a clear debtor management system. If you can get consistency through all of these different elements, then you will consistently have the cash that you need available. A great friend and a business mentor and former client of mine, Greg Van, once taught me that a job done does not equal a job done. It was something he learned through many years of professional services with his team, that a job plus an invoice, plus the invoice actually getting paid, equals the job done. And so it's critical that your team appreciate that their job, that task is not complete until the invoice has been paid. And right the way back, even before the job comes in, when it comes to sales, we can start to build that consistent process that will improve our cash and our debtor situation down the track. Consistency is the theme. Set consistent expectations in the sales process. Tell them what you're going to do, and then once you've done it, tell them that you've done it. Don't make promises you can't keep. Don't be vague and ambiguous to get them over the line. Be very clear about what they can expect. Have consistent workflow processes with your team so your team know that they're meeting those expectations of the client, and so the client is aware through that process that their expectations are indeed being met. Have a consistent process around sending invoices. This might be an end of month afternoon where you get the whole team together. Here at Business Depot, we call it the Red Frog Day. We put a big bowl of red frogs to give everybody the sugar hit and to remind them that getting those invoices out might be the most painful task they've got today. They've got to eat that frog first in order to get on with what they're doing. Understand your energy a little bit around that. I personally always run my invoices in the morning. By mid-afternoon, the last thing I want to do is go through spreadsheets. You may be completely the opposite, but get that process and make it consistent. Then once the invoices have gone out, have a consistent process for how you keep chasing them until they get paid. The job isn't done just because the invoice is gone. The job is only done when the invoice gets paid. Hopefully, it gets paid immediately. If not, set up an automatic reminder the day that invoice is due. And you can do this through a lot of the different accounting and invoice software like Xero. You can actually have it automatically check the bank account and go out and send that reminder. What's your process for the follow-up call? Do you do that the day after? Do you wait another 2 weeks? That's a specific choice that you've got to make for your business and understanding the cash flow cycle in your business, but have a consistent process and don't skip it. If on the first day of each month, you pick up the phone and call every overdue invoice, then stick to that. And lastly, have a worst case scenario. Have a relationship with a debt collector or a collection agency. Know what the ultimate escalation is that you are going to do with that invoice. Consistency of process throughout makes your life easier. Consistency of process throughout makes your team's life easier. And it also demonstrates to the client and to the universe that you value your money. If you're ad hoc and lazy around, we do it this way sometimes, we do it that way sometimes, we don't always send an invoice on time, and we certainly don't follow up, you're basically sending the message to the universe, or if you prefer, to your client, that you don't really need the money. You don't really care about it that much. There's certainly no urgency or hurry. And frankly, if you don't value your money, Nobody else is going to either. Let me end this with one of my favourite stories. This was a client of mine that took over some financial services for one of their clients. And they did exactly this. They jumped in and went, you need more cash, let's have a look at the debtors list and let's get on the phone and follow those people up. And they called the biggest overdue invoice, the largest debtor on that ledger, and said, you owe this business a big whack of money. When are you going to pay it? And the person on the other end, the accounts lady at the other end, said, oh, we'll pay that immediately. And so my client, who was going in there and performing this service, had the ability to ask the question, what stopped you? And the accounts lady said, oh, we have a policy in our business where we only pay invoices when we get the call. Now, whether that's ethical, whether that's moral, whether that's because of cash flow crisis in their business, I couldn't tell you. But that was their policy. They wouldn't pay an invoice when they received it. They wouldn't pay it when they got a reminder email. They would only pay the invoice when they called. My client's client had a policy of never calling. They didn't want to be confrontational. They didn't want to be rude. They loved their clients. And so you created this impasse. All of this cash that this company could pay and that this company needed just because nobody wanted to make a phone call. Value your money. Build a consistent process. Not only will you get jobs done faster, you'll have a much happier client base, a happier workforce, and when you've got more cash in the bank, a happier you.